Hello friends and welcome back at my channel. In the second part I would like to solve some inequalities with absolute values. So let's see. Number one, I would like to solve, well, x minus 2 absolute value is less than 3. So what is the approach? Well, the approach is if you have an absolute value, it's never less than 0. So that means if you have a look at x minus 2, this is just a line looking like this. So that would be x minus 2. But exactly at this point where we intersect the x-axis, so exactly at 2, we are switching the gears. That means we are reflecting the lower part on the x-axis, and this is how the real graph looks like. So that means if we are solving this absolute value sign, we're having x minus 2 being equal to literally x minus 2 if x is bigger or equal to 2, or it's minus, parenthesis open, x minus 2, parenthesis closed, x is less than 2. So that's the story. What is important here? It's important that you remember that every time you're trying to start solving this inequality x minus 2 less than 3, you please remember under which condition we're doing this. The conditioning is x is bigger or equal to 2, which means for all the solutions we are going to get here in a second, we always have to match with x bigger or equal to 2. If it's not the case, this inequality is unsolvable. So let's see. If we bring minus 2 to the right-hand side, we're going to get x is less than 5. So we're bigger or equal to 2. This is, can imagine, this is kind of key. You're opening the door only under the condition x is bigger or equal than 2. And then you see what's happening inside the room. So x is less than 5. That means we are living from 2 into infinity. And the inequality says you must be less than 5. You aren't 5. You are just going down. So there is an intersection between 2 and 5. So we have x is from the interval, 2 is included and 5 is excluded. Okay, what about the second case? Well, we're considering this one, once again, under the permission, x is less than 2. What is the approach? Well, we're having minus x plus 2 is less than 3. Now we bring x to the right-hand side and 3 to the left-hand side. So basically have 2 minus 3, which is minus 1, less than x. So x is bigger than minus 1, but less than 2. Once again, there is 2. Well, less than that. And we are also and we are bigger than minus 1, strictly bigger than minus 1. We're here. So we're taking all the values, in this case, from minus 1, not included, up to 2, not included. But 2 was included here. So that means the total solution in this case would be the combination of those two. And now you see we're kind of meeting at 2, so we can merge those two intervals together. So x is starting at minus 1, where it's not included, excluded, and we end up at 5, where 5 is excluded as well. So we can check like what we have. If we have 0, 0 minus 2 is minus 2, and this is really less than 3. Is 4 okay? Well, let's see. 4 minus 2 is a 2, and this is still less than 3. So we're fine. We're great. Okay, that's pretty easy going. The next one, well, let us see. Maybe we just take 2x plus 3. Absolute value is less than 4. All right, what is the idea? Well, it's actually the same. All right, so we have 2x plus 3, absolute value is 2x plus 3. If x is bigger or equal to, well, minus 3 halves, right? And otherwise, it's minus 2x plus 3 if x is less than minus 3 halves. So that's the story. And, well, we just do the same. So first of all, 2x plus 3, we consider the case x is bigger or equal than minus 3 halves. Less than 4, bring 3 to the right-hand side. We got 2x less than 1. We divide it by 2. We got x is less than a half. And that means basically we're less than 4. We're less than a half. Where do they meet? Well, they meet if we're less than a half. So that means, right? Is that correct? No, it's not. I'm sorry, my bad. I forgot about less than 4. We are bigger or equal than minus 3 halves. So we are bigger. I was doing the wrong picture, my bad. But I want you to see my mistakes as well, no problem. So I was thinking of whatever, I don't know. So minus 3 halves and a half. So that's bigger than minus 3 halves or equal. So we are including this value. And that's a half excluding, and we want to be less. So we are right in between. So x is minus 3 halves up to a half. That's it. All right. And the next one, we got minus 2x minus 3 less than 4, and now x is less than minus 3. Oh, now I have to pay attention. Okay, so we got minus 2x less than 7. Now we divide by minus 2, which is a negative number. So we're turning the direction of the inequality. That means x is bigger than minus 7 halves. So we want to be with x less than 3 halves, minus 3 halves right here. And we want to be bigger than minus 7 halves. So right in between. That means in this case, x is between minus 7 halves and up to minus 3 halves. And once again, we are meeting at minus 3 halves, so the total solution is a combination of those two, and that would be x is from minus 7 halves up to a half. Okay, and once again, you can check 0 in between, 0 plus 3 is 0, less than 4, yes sir. All right, and now the last one would be a solution. Let's say we have, well, x minus 1 absolute value, I think should be less than, let's say, x plus 1 absolute value. Now we have two absolute values, so it's a kind of little bit, I wouldn't say tricky, but we have to consider a bit more. So I have to check. So we have to check more cases, and this is how we start. So first of all, well, you see, we have minus 1 and 1. Those are two values where we can switch. And this is how it goes. So first of all, if x is less than minus 1, x is less than minus 1, what is happening with the first absolute value? Well, you see, we're having like minus 2 or something here, so it's for sure negative. So we basically have minus x minus 1 less than, we are less than minus 1, it's also negative, so minus x plus 1. Don't forget, that's the key that we're opening the door with. Okay, we multiply both hand sides times minus 1. we are having x minus 1 on the left-hand side. Now we turn, because we multiply times a negative number, we turn the direction of the inequality. It's getting bigger than x plus 1. We are subtracting on both hand sides the x value, and we're getting minus 1 bigger than 1. It's nonsense. So this case, so we can open the door, but there is no solution. So it won't bring us any solution here. So this case is over. This is case number 1. Case number 2, we're here. We are now we're strictly less than minus 1. So now we're taking minus 1. So we're minus 1 less or equal than x and truly less than 1. So what is happening with the first absolute value if we're in this interval? So we are for sure negative. So we're having minus x minus 1 less than which value? Well, x plus 1 in this case is 0 or more, so we just have x plus 1. That means we have minus x plus 1 less than x plus 1. Maybe we bring minus x to the right-hand side and 1 to the left-hand side, so we would have 2x bigger than 0. That means x is bigger than 0. And now we have to fulfill this conditioning and also this one, which means we are between minus 1 and 1. So minus 1 was included. 1 is excluded. We are living here. And we are having x is strictly bigger than 0. So that means we got solution from 0, which is not included, up to 1, which is excluded as well. And the last case, the third case, we're here. The third case, we are moving my picture aside. We are having the case where we are bigger than 1, strictly bigger, so x is, bigger or equal than 1. Both absolute values are fine, so we're having positive, so that means we're having x minus 1 less than x plus 1. We're subtracting x's on both hand sides, and now we're having minus 1 truly less than 1, which is valid for every x value. You see, it's not dependent on x's anymore. So that means the conditioning, so we kind of opening the door and the whole apartment is full of solutions. So that means everything which fulfills x is bigger or equal to 1 is our solution. So we're done. That means we have x from 0 to 1 and x is bigger or equal than 1, which means we start at 0 and never stop. So the total solution is a combination of those three, and that means x is starting at 0 and going to infinity. Infinity is never included because it's not a number. All right, thanks for watching. I hope it helped, and see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Bye-bye.